Everybody, I wanted to do a quick unboxing. We'll be doing a full review later of this, but I just got this today, 20 minutes ago, and wanted to give you my initial thoughts upon opening the box. This is the Arkbird Auto Antenna Tracker for 5.8, or the Mini AAT as they're calling it on the box. My first reaction when I heard that Arkbird was doing a 5.8 antenna tracker was, why? Most people who use an antenna tracker are trying for longer range. That's the main goal behind the antenna tracker, is to extend your range, and they do a good job of that. But most people who are going for a range are flying on 1.3 video frequency versus 5.8. So, for me, my initial reaction was why, but then I got to thinking about it, and there are some cool uses for 5.8 antenna tracker, being that 5.8 is very susceptible to interference. This being always pointed at the transmitter actually can be helpful in a lot of instances. So anyway, I just wanted to open the box and show you how it came. I've already taken the wires out of here. I just wanted to show you one of the first things that I noticed, and you will probably notice as well. When I open the box, this is literally how it came. There's no packaging, there's no foam, no anything in here to protect the unit. It was literally just dropped in here. Some wires were in the anti-static bags in there as well, but that was it. And coming from China, I'm really surprised that it got here without any damage, which got lucky on. Now, I have one of the first units sent to the States, so and beta testing, they may have some different packaging once you buy yours. Hopefully they see this and go, okay, we need to cram something else in there with it to keep it from bouncing around. But this is it. This is the antenna tracker. First thing I noticed upon pulling it out of the box is there's no mount or anything to mount it to a tripod. Basically what they suggest is sticking some tape on the back of here, double-sided tape. I use 3M, and sticking that to the back of your monitor. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to have this set up, if I am going to run it on the back of a monitor or if I'm going to create some sort of weighted mount, just that it will sit to a couple blocks of 2x4, honestly, and just so I can set it on the table and then run video to my goggles some way, some other way, maybe a repeater to my goggles or something like that. So yeah, it would have been cool if they had a mount on here. It is a very compact size, and I'm sure it's crammed full in there, and they don't have room to add on a tripod mount. But it would have been cool if this was extended even, a third of an inch down here, or even just they could have done something to make a mount on here, because it will not stand on its own. It's very top heavy, as you can see. It's not gonna stand on its own. It's designed to be mounted like this. It's not going to sit flat like that. This is how it works. So, they could have put one on there. That would have been cool. The thing I do really like about it is it does have a 12 dBi gain BIQUAD antenna. So they're calling it a double BIQUAD antenna. It's a BIQUAD antenna. But with 12 dBi, you're going to have significantly more gain than you would on, say, your standard Fatshark antenna that you'd put on a Fatshark goggle. So that's pretty cool. You are going to see an extension in range with that antenna alone, and then you start to think about it always pointing at it. You're going to have added range. So that is really cool. I did read the instructions, which you have to download. It doesn't come with them. I wish they would have found a way to make this, they call it a Nexi tube, but they're just referring to this LED display here. So changing channels, you have to remember what the LED means. If they would have had a way to make this 2 digits, you could, just do away with all that. It would have been a lot easier. But again, small and compact, so they kept it to as a minimal display there. some wires that they included. What else came in the box? Basically, you've got your airborne unit. I'm not sure if this will come in the actual package when they're available for sale, or if they just included it because I asked them for one. So this may or may not be in your unit. If you're flying with a Arkbird Flight Controller 2.0, you don't need the airborne unit because it's integrated in that flight controller. If you're flying with an older Arkbird, the 1.0, which I still recommend over the 2.0, or a different flight controller, you will need the airborne unit. So if you're thinking about maybe putting this on a quad, like I am down the line, you're going to add the weight of this, which is maybe 10 grams-ish, and the weight of a GPS. So you're not going to be doing any serious competitive racing because you're trying to cut every gram you can on those rigs. But if you're just flying around with a quad, it's minimal weight. You're not adding too much there, and you can have a tracker for your quad. The other thing I noticed I did not like is this is the wiring harness that they included. Basically, sorry, that is a male-to-male that they send in there as well. This is the wiring harness that they include with the tracker, and basically this end gets power and video to the tracker, plugs in right there. This is to plug into your monitor, and they have made this harness, I mean, no differently than I would have made it, but I would have maybe added some insulation or electrical tape right here where my fingers are to add some stress relief, because as is, I see this wearing out very quickly. That they've just stuck some heat shrink on there on these two wires that they've soldered together, and that will wear down quickly. So just add some e-tape. It's a quick fix, but it's one of those things like, come on, you could have made a little bit better of a harness there in China. So anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited to see this thing go, see what it does, and stay tuned for another video. I'll go over how I hooked it up. You'll see my ground station, however I end up working that out, and some pretty cool flight video. See what kind of range I can get with this. I might hook up 5.8 on one of my long-range planes with a flight controller just to see how far we can get video-wise, and that way I can just hit return to home when I run out of video. I don't think my first flight or flights that I'm testing distance, I don't think I'm going to run without a flight controller because that could get pretty dangerous. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned and like and subscribe. And like I said, stay tuned for some more videos on this little guy. Thanks, guys.